Goes on and on and
Because
on, and it takes them 30 minutes to open the box. And I'm like, just open the freaking box. I want to see what's inside.
From the Crush Studio in sunny Florida, this is the Disney Crush Podcast. And now your two Tempests in a Teacup, Dave and Tony Ann.
On this week's The Disney Crush Podcast, Multipass, episode 349 of the Disney Crush Podcast is starting right now.
Don't you think you should have put like a lightning lane multipass in front of there? Because you just said multipass.
No, Multipass. That's from Fifth Element, which I forgot. Now, our Patreon subscribers know a few weeks ago we did a Patreon episode about movies that we watch repeatedly. And did I mention the Fifth Element? Did I mention that my husband cannot pass up the Fifth Element? And it's mostly because of Lilu and what she's dressed or not dressed in. He loves the Fifth Element. That's yeah.
Okay. You know, since we've talked about movies, how many movies you said that your husband cannot watch?
I know. We just do you know why I'm late coming on here?
Oh, let me guess. You're watching a movie with Rich. No,
White House Down. White House Down was on, and I got sucked into it. And then you texted me, and I was like, "Oh, Dad, it's 7:30."
Okay, I've been here since before 7, waiting. Anyway. Okay, well, I'm glad you had a nice movie night. Now can you podcast? Now it's time to podcast.
But Multipass, it's from the Fifth Element, so I just thought it was so funny that they used that term. But I guess they don't care about the Fifth Element.
Well, they use Genie too. Genie Plus. Can we just put Genie back into the bottle, whatever bottle it came from, and send it back out to sea?
So I don't think there's really not much other news this week. They did announce the Eat to the Beat concert lineup, and I mean, we've put links to that on our page. I mean, I'm not going to go down 3 months of artists. Did you see it? Did you see anybody interesting on it though?
Yeah, I mean, there's some good ones like always, but most of them I'm like, whatever. I don't know. If I'm there, I mean, I've seen some really good acts while we're there. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, there's some good ones. No, there's a lot of new ones. So that's good.
And of course, Hanson is coming, but they're not going to be there for Halloween this year, which is usually Hanson is there on Halloween and they dress in costume. But they are not going to be there on Halloween Day. So they're there like the weekend before. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I like to see them. I see a lot of clips on YouTube and stuff with them, and they're really good. They're a very talented bunch.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen them.
Oh, yeah. I've gone to see them with Liana because they were her favorite when she was a kid. Tiffany will be there when Richard and I are there. And the Hooligans, that's one of the M80's alter egos. They're going to be there when Rich and I are there too, and that's good. I want to go see them, the Hooligans. Rich will enjoy them more than he'll enjoy Tiffany for sure. Yeah.
I think we're alone now.
Yeah, he's not into that. He's like, that's somebody else's song. I'm like, yeah, I know, but David Archuleta from American Idol. Yep. Oh, Michael's here. And my favorite, Kessler's favorite group, Boyz II Men, is November 3rd and 4th this year. So Jeff Kessler will have to be there for that. Okay, Joey Fatone is back, of course, 6th and 7th of October. Michael is here. Michael went to Dollar Tree today with his group, and now he got a calendar, which I know we're waiting for Karen to get him a Disney calendar, but Michael has like 27 calendars, so it doesn't matter. He bought a calendar at Dollar Tree today, and so I had to fill it with everybody's birthdays. Your birthday's already in there, but he's obsessing about next year, 2025. His Halloween dance that he goes to every year. He wants me to write it in, and I can't write it in because I don't know when it's going to be yet because it's 2025. I have the date for 2024's dance, but
yeah, he's just trying to get ahead of you, I think.
He's a little obsessed.
Yeah. Well, it's okay.
But how else is on? That's funny.
But that's not this year. That's next year.
But that's next year.
It's next year.
But how else is on tonight?
Okay, I'm going to write it, but it might not be that day. But if that'll get you to put the calendar down.
Oh, you almost said if that gets you out of here. I heard that. I could tell what you were going to say.
Happy.
No, you don't understand. He's been following me around the house since he got home today from his program. He got home at 3, and he's been following me around with the calendar and we put everybody's birthdays in it. That was the whole thing. Every month he went through. But
hey, well, let's do this. Why don't we call up Rich and tell him?
Daddy may have left the building. I hate to tell you, because he was going to pick something up. Because we also realized, shoot, it's 7:30. We didn't eat dinner. So
Thanks.
Too busy watching movies, not paying attention to the podcast.
We didn't realize it was 7:30. We just got sucked in. Okay. Now he may call me back because he just had to see me call Rich. He didn't. I don't think Rich is even home.
Well, he's going to go out there and figure that out, but that's okay. So we have a few minutes left. Okay. I know you were busy telling us all about something before the calendars.
Yeah, no, the bands that are going to be at E to the Beat. Yeah, you can. We put a link to it on. Just today, they added a bunch of like the weekday acts, which are usually local bands. That's why the M80s and the Hooligans are on there now. Foreigner's Journey, which is literally a Foreigner and Journey cover band. So bands like that got filled in.
I have in the past seen some. Some of the, I would say, tier 1 shows, if you will, during the week. And I wasn't able to get over there for them in the past. So there is that. I don't know if they're going to do that again, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it always seems like the ones I want to see are during the week when I just couldn't get over there. Yeah. But
so I'm excited. I didn't realize the Hooligans were going to be there when I'm there with Richard, and I think he'll like the Hooligans. Okay. That's one of the M80s. The M80s go by a few different names, including the Spasmatics, the Hooligans, Command Performance. That's their group that performs in the UK pavilion. That's them too. They've got a bunch of different names that they go by.
Well, what's the point? I mean, are they in some kind of identity crisis? What's up with them?
What they are, it's really interesting. They are like a franchise band. There are other M80s and other Spasmatics and other Hooligans all over the country. They're like, it's like a franchise band. And like Jen Batchelder told me, she went to see the Spasmatics in Maryland. And it's different people, but it's the same theme, the band, and probably the same sets. So it's become like a little business.
Okay.
Yeah, I had looked it up once. I forget the name of the company that they're under.
So the M80s and the Spasmatics, if you see them in Disney, they could be two different groups. Are they the same people?
No, it's the same people. It's the same in Orlando. It's basically, I mean, somebody could have a day off or something, but in Orlando, it's basically the same people. Like I've seen the lead singer of the M80s. I've seen him over in the UK pavilion as Command Performance, but I think that it's just different genres, like the Command Performance plays like British invasion music and the M80s plays 80s music. So, they play different genres.
So according to whoever they're playing, Spasmatics, M80s, that determines what kind of genre of music
the Hooligans,
that you're going to listen to.
I'm trying to remember the kind of music the Hooligans plays. I don't know. But it's,
Okay.
But they're really good.
Oh, I know. I've seen them.
They're really good.
Times. Yeah, I've seen them a bunch of times.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, very good.
It's really all I had. Other than, and like we said, the news from Multipass literally hit like when we were recording the last week's podcast. So I know it's not new news. So, and I know that other podcasts are talking about it.
We'll get into that in just a minute. I think Veronika is going to join us because as I was doing some research on it, because I'm going to be honest with you, Tony Ann, I when this came out, I just was not interested. I'm like, I don't even care. And I know that a lot of people do care, and I understand that, and that's what we're here for. We're here to get the information, to do what we can, and give you guys the best tier 1 information, if you will. We are your tier 1 Disney podcast, the Disney Crush. Yeah, I think Veronika's got a good spin on it, and there's a lot that we need to talk about. But before we do that, I want to just give a big shout out to our Patreons. Thank you guys so much. When we say it helps keep the lights on, we really mean it. It helps keep the lights on. And also, I mean, I just got to say, we're on YouTube now. If you listen to YouTube or watch YouTube, I'm sure I've been putting it off for a long time. And our host, who I'm going to kind of call our manager, it's our kind of our digital manager, who we host our podcast through. They kind of spread us out to all the platforms like Pandora, iHeart, and all that kind of stuff. And we just have to do a little bit of work as record the podcast, edit it, and then we give it to them, and then they kind of spread it out. And I've been sitting on this one for about a year. Our host actually has a destination through YouTube, and we just have to do a few things, jump through a few hoops with them, and then they they get it out to YouTube for us. So if you're on YouTube, you can check us out there. It's just a static picture, but our audio's there. So if you want to follow us there, that would be great. And if you haven't, subscribe and all that good stuff to our YouTube channel. YouTube is it Disney Crush on YouTube.
Like I was telling you before, like I'll put on a podcast and fold laundry or clean the house or do something else, cook dinner. My house is on YouTube most of the day.
But look, we're not here to annoy people. I think the static might annoy some people because there's no video. But if you just want to listen to us, just click it and listen to us on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's not too annoying.
It's just a black screen. You don't have to see our faces.
No, yeah, and we don't want to be annoying.
Some people would like to see our faces, Dave. We're supposed to go to Disney in, I guess, 2 weeks. My family is supposed to go on the 18th of July, just for 2 nights. So
when you say your family,
yeah, well, my husband says he might come. Okay. I don't know if he's going to come, but he says he might because. Okay,
what is the occasion? What are we doing?
We're just going over there. Okay, yeah,
good. Dominic like me and Veronika did.
Dominic wants to go over and see some stuff, and Dominic hasn't gone to Disney since he's been 21 either. But he doesn't think drinking around the world with his mother is cool.
Okay. Well, I understand that. That's not, not with the cool kids, right?
No,
but I'm gonna be honest with you. We went last week, and it was hot.
Well, that's it too. We're probably going to hang out by the pool a lot. So yeah, we'll see. This has nothing to do with Disney, but I saw that for the 4th of July yesterday, Danny Trejo, Machete, people, do you know who Machete is, people? Danny Trejo, he's 80 now. He got in like a fist fight yesterday.
Good for him. Did he win?
Well,
Did he win?
He was in a parade for the 4th of July, and somebody threw a water balloon at him, and he got out of the car and started like fighting and like, yeah.
Really?
I had to call my sister Teresa because she met him personally.
Is there any video of this incident?
Yes.
Incident?
Oh yeah, there's video of it. Oh yeah, look on YouTube. Look on YouTube. I haven't seen it. You'll see. Look up Danny Trejo, 4th of July.
Okay.
Yep.
I haven't seen it. See what kind of information you get from a tier 1 podcast. See that?
Speaking of podcasts, I didn't want to let this podcast go by without congratulating Scott and Karen at the Mickey File podcast on their 200th episode, which just came out. It sneaks up on you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think they said I think they said those words on their latest show that they didn't even realize it, and it snuck up on them, and there it is. And that's a lot. Yeah. 200 shows is no joke, man.
Yeah. Well, next week will be 350 for us.
Yeah, a lot of commitment, a lot of time, and congratulations, guys, on a great show. Absolutely. And we had a great time with them doing the Monorail Tales podcast.
Oh, yeah. If you guys didn't hear it, Dave and Veronika and Scott and Karen were on the Disney Wedge show, which was a play on Newlywed Show. And Rick Forbes, our dear friend, and Sheila hosted, and it was really funny. But I have to tell you something. It's kind of embarrassing, but I know you and Scott answers better than your wives did. Both of you. It was just really funny that I realized, oh my God, I know Scott's likes and your likes better than your wives. Or your answers. I know how you're going to answer because it didn't necessarily mean your likes. Like it was the way things were nuanced, that you answered a certain way. And I was,
Well, yeah. And if you do listen to it, which I encourage you to go listen to it, Yeah, I actually called Veronika Tony Ann at one point.
I know you did. You did. I wasn't going to rub that salt in that wound.
Yeah, it's okay. No, she took it very well. She was like, okay, that's no problem.
Oh, well. You're just used to talking to me when you have the headphones on.
I know it.
Right, that's what
we were doing a podcast and yeah.
So Disney has been, they announced last year, maybe even before that, Josh had said they were going to be coming out with a way to plan your lightning lanes before you arrived. And they drug their feet on how they were going to do it. Turns out they introduced last week this multi-pass program, and the lightning lane, it's the lightning lane multi-pass, which is essentially fast passes, and the lightning lane single pass, which is essentially individual lightning lanes. These are the new names. So the lightning lane multi-pass is like a fast pass, and the lightning lane single pass is an individual lightning lane for all.
Now they're still going to have the Genie to help you kind of plan things. Yeah. Right. But not the Genie Plus. So yeah, these are the new names. Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, Lightning Lane Single Pass.
Right. So essentially, Lightning Lane Multi-Pass is the return of FastPass as we knew it, before COVID. It's basically the same thing we used to have, only you have to pay for it now. Instead of choosing 60 days and 30 days before, it used to be 60 days for resort guests, 30 days for non-resort guests. Now it's 7 days and 3 days, 7 days for resort guests, 3 days for people not staying on property. So it's essentially the same. There's tiers. Tier 1 has the headliners, and then tier 2 is everything else. So
Animal Kingdom does not have tiers at this point yet.
Right. Animal Kingdom does not have tiers.
They eventually probably will once the new land, the tropical whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Once that all gets done,
tropical
they probably
Americas.
will. They'll eventually have tiers. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah. What's interesting is the character meets are not included anymore. It used to be like you could see the princesses in Fairy Tale Hall, or you could see Mickey in Communicore. Right now, those are Genie Plus selections. So after the 24th of July, those will be gone. So you're going to have to just wait and stand by to see the princesses or to meet Mickey. I know, meeting Mickey in Town Square is currently a Lightning Lane selection. Meeting Mickey and Minnie in Animal Kingdom is currently a Lightning Lane selection. So that went away, which is interesting to me. But
there's a lot of interesting things, and we just had Veronika just slipped into the studio because I think she has a few things she wants to talk about this too. Hey, Veronika, thanks for joining us. I saw you just slipped right in here. You just couldn't stand it, could you? You just had to come.
No, because I'm happy.
Ooh.
I've been doing a happy dance.
Wow. Can you believe this, Tony Ann? She's happy.
Wow.
I am.
I think she's blinded by the whole thing because it reminds her of Fast Pass in a way.
Well,
yeah, but you're going to have to pay for it. You're going to have to pay for it.
I agree with you. And I'm not saying I'm going to do it every time we go to Disney. But I think if you were going with people, the idea that you could, even though you make one tier 1 only, and then 2 other fast passes. I'm calling them fast passes.
Right.
2 additional selections. You can still, as soon as you tap into the first one, you could make another selection, same park, different park. I'm assuming then it could be tier 1 because now you're kind of, in pulling out of the same pool from everyone else.
Well, I think you're only allowed 2 tier 1s a day. Right. Isn't that correct?
I don't know. They haven't. I think
that's
sure.
when you buy were purchasing
an
the
individual lightning lane. You could have 2 a day.
But
the tier 1s, no, I don't think there's any restriction on the tier 1s.
No.
But what we don't know. Oh, wait, Michael.
What's Father's Day?
What's Father's Day? Oh, I have to write Father's Day. Right there. Father's Day. Good job.
Happy?
Yes. Okay. Are we going to call Dad?
No, Mom.
Okay. Aunt Veronica's here, so got to go.
No, Mom.
No, the thing that, so the way it works is you make these 3 fast passes in advance, 1 tier 1 and 2 tier 2 fast passes. So you have 3 total. But as soon as you use one, You
Yes.
can make another one.
Yes.
But we don't know, are you going to be able to make another tier 1, or do you have to wait till you've used all 3 to make another tier 1?
I don't know. But
I
I
don't
love
know
the
either.
fact, I still love the fact that once you use that first one, you could start stacking for Epcot later in the afternoon. You could switch parks after you use the first.
Yeah, you
First
can
one.
hop. That's because
right.
that was a question the first day that we weren't sure about hopping, but now that's been cleared up that apparently once you've used it, you can hop.
Right. So I'm very optimistic. And I did look at the Genie Plus price today, and I think it was $27 a person today, which I know is a Friday and maybe not the busiest day, but it's a holiday weekend. So I'm figuring it's going to be around the 30-ish mark.
Yeah.
I think Genie Plus.
Yeah. I think for us, we like it when we have family that we're showing around.
Yeah.
That's when we shine with that. When we've got out of town visitors or first timers or rare visitors and we're trying to show off our parks.
Well, I also do miss, and even though I know I don't go on a lot of I know I'm not, I'm not going with kids and I don't, hop all over the park, but I do miss not planning. I used to, even though it was me and Dave only, I still knew that we were doing this at a certain time or we could modify it. You had you went in with a little control.
Yeah.
And now we just kind of go and wander, and then we don't have that. There are times when Dave and I don't get on the highway because, oh no, 7:00, we're going to miss the virtual queue time, or we're going to, so it really changes things when you can't plan ahead.
Right. Now you're still going to have, the issue with at 7:00 on day 7 or day 3, you're going to have to decide if it's more important to grab an Lightning Lane single pass or to get your tier 1s for your Lightning Lane multi-pass. You're going to have to make that judgment call. I think the multi-pass is probably more important to get that first than to get the Lightning Lane single pass at that point. Those usually have availability still.
Well, and now they've made it so you can do them both together. You don't have to do it separately now.
You can do both of the single pass. You could do one transaction.
Well, the other thing is 3 days out. Well, now you have 3 days to modify. So you just grab.
That's true. And refresh. Because maybe somebody decided they don't.
She's just excited that she gets to refresh like she used to.
That's true, because somebody's plans may change. So somebody may have been going to Epcot and now they've decided they're going to go to Magic Kingdom. So maybe you can grab a Remy that you couldn't grab on day 3.
Now you have the few days to do that. That's all. Right. I'm happy.
She's going to be our little standby skipper with us.
Yeah.
She's going to be the little bot refreshing for us all day long.
Me and Dave talked about that today. I don't know if you talked about it earlier
No, we didn't.
on the podcast or not. But I said that's probably why Disney never did anything about Standby Skipper, because they knew, well, in 2 weeks, this is what we have coming in the pipeline.
Yep.
But I mean, it could still work if you want to use them to refresh.
Yeah. Standby Skipper has said they are going to be redoing their business model, but they've known about this. This is not new news to them. They knew that this was coming, so they're ready, and they are going to probably get your 3 at 7 a.m. on the 7-day mark or the 3-day mark for you. And then they are going to probably refresh while you're at the park. I think the bot has a better chance of getting Slinky Dog than you. You're still going to have to decide, okay, so I have to, it's 7:00 and I got to get my tier 1s and I want to get Slinky Dog, but I also want to get Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So you've got to make it's like a Sophie's choice of which one are you going to shoot for first, because one might be gone by the time you go to get it. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, now you know more about this than I do. The paid, what they are now, the paid lightning lanes now, whatever you're calling them.
Individual lightning lanes?
Individual. I don't think it pays for me to learn the name at this point, Tony.
Oh, it's going to be Lightning Lane Single Pass will be the new name.
And I think that I will remember better. Those, I don't recall. They don't sell out right away, do they?
No,
I mean,
no, not typically.
I didn't think so.
Rise used to, but it doesn't as much anymore. I mean, it happens, but not much. But that's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about, I'm planning my trip. I've got a 7-day trip. I'm going to Magic Kingdom and I'm going to Hollywood. Which day am I going to go for first?
I see what you're saying, because you could do all the days at one time. And yeah. Well, that's when you get your husband on the app.
You know what? It used to work when we used to do it. When we used to have fast passes, people are freaking out about, there's going to be no availability for same day return. Yes, there is, because there was before. There was availability before to get other return times once you arrived. So I don't think it's...
Me neither. And we did have the tiers towards the end.
We had the tiers. It was
the same thing. We had the tiers. So for me, the disadvantage is the paying. But that's reality, whatever. Right. And the advantage is not having to wait until you use that third one before you could start seeing what else is available. Because that used to be, that would be what we did. So we used the last one.
Right. When we had fast passes, we had to use all three before we could get a fourth. This is a game changer.
And the Genie Plus, you had that was that 2-hour window that you had to wait for too, which was annoying.
Right. That was just, to me, made it work. Yeah.
So the Standby Skipper, if you decide you're going to buy Standby Skipper 2, as soon as you tap, it's getting you your next one. So I see that could still be a benefit if it's a once in a, if it's a big trip, a once a year trip, I could see still using Standby. We'll have to see how it is when we go the first time and use it. The first time we go, we'll go with no standby and see how it is. But if it's cutthroat, which it might be, then I'm all for having a bot in my corner.
Right. I agree. And the thing about it is too, is this, even though this is kind of like the Fast Pass with, I think, more benefits to it, other than you have to pay for it, there's going to be a learning curve and people are going to be confused again. And it's going to take some time to shake out. It's going to take some time for people to learn, especially people coming for the first time. They just learned Genie Plus and now they've got to learn almost like a new system.
They've been watching all these YouTube videos about Genie Plus and now they've got this. And this is, I think people that were adept at Fast Passes are going to have an advantage going into this.
Absolutely.
Because we know how this works.
Even though the whole Genie app, to me, and probably because I'm not in it a lot, is confusing to me. It just is. So we'll see how this is. I mean, if it's, you really have to set up your Genie app to only put the rides you want on the top.
Right.
It's very, there's a lot.
Yeah.
When you look at it quick. It's not, you're not looking at it quick like Fast Pass.
Veronika,
it's just your rides.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
The My Disney Experience app is way more complicated than it needs to be. I had a lady on Facebook the other day. She was asking about how you find where the characters are meeting. And everybody said it's in the app. And she was like, I'm looking at the app. I can't find it. And I pulled it up for her. And she was like, can you explain to me exactly how you got here?
Yeah.
And it was like 6 steps to find out where Buzz Lightyear is going to be and when. You have to, from the front page, you have to go to the little location marker at the bottom of that page. Then it brings up wait times. You've got to know to click on that drop down menu next to wait times and it pulls up characters. So then you got characters, but you want only the characters in Hollywood Studios. So you have to go to the filter and select Hollywood Studios. And then it's going to bring you the map with all the little dots on it.
Yep.
So you've got to hit the show list to bring up the list of characters. Mm-hmm. And then finally, if you see Buzz Lightyear, you can tap on him and see what time he's meeting in Hollywood Studios on that day and where he is. And the other thing about the characters is it's accurate to the moment. So if you're trying to plan your trip ahead of time and you're sitting with your phone on a Friday night and you go to look at where the characters are, no characters are going to show up because it's only showing you who's available that day and is still available. So Moana stops meeting at 3:00. So if you get home from work and you decide you're going to do research, Moana's off the map already.
It doesn't show you. Oh
no,
my gosh.
It only shows you the characters that day that are still meeting, not in real time, not all day. They're just showing you what's still available from 7 p.m. on. And it's not much from 7 p.m. on. I'll be honest with you. Most of them stop meeting at 3, 4, 5 o'clock.
I could remember, it might have been last Christmas time. I don't know. We were going over to meet the Daves Christmas time. And our goal was to go around Epcot and do all of their, their celebrations.
Yeah, the storytellers and everything.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Karen had explained to me how to find the schedules and where I had no clue. And I thought, well,
the My Disney Experience app
at all.
is I've been using it now for how many years? And so I know how to find stuff on it. The casual visitor, that app is really not user friendly. It should be a list, wait times, characters, dining. It should just be a list, and it won't look as pretty, and Tinkerbell won't fly across the screen, but that's okay. We don't need her to fly across the screen. We don't need the app to be all kinds of colors with fireworks because I'm a pass holder. We need it to function, and we need it to be easy to use for people who aren't on it every day. I'm on it every single day. Most people aren't. So, we're the weird ones. I always say we're the weird ones. And that app is not user friendly for people who aren't using it every day.
Right. So we'll see if now some clutter kind of goes away. I don't know. It's
how do I add friends? Somebody asked me, how do I add my husband, friends and family? Well, you've got to go to the hamburger from the front. You've got to go to the hamburger menu. When you use the term hamburger menu, sometimes people gloss over. That's the menu that's 3 lines that looks like a hamburger. You've got to go there, and then it'll bring up your page, the Veronika page with the Little Mermaid at the top. And then you've got to scroll way, way down to profile. And then you hit on profile, and you've got to toggle over to friends and family. And it's like, why is it so hard?
I don't know. I am that casual user, and that's me.
Yeah.
I look at it and I think, oh my gosh, I just want to get to like my day. I know this is my day. Okay.
Yeah. People can't, the other thing people can't find is magic bands. They think they can't get discounted magic bands anymore when they're staying on property or when they're pass holders. As a pass holder, you are entitled to 1 discounted magic band a year. Do you know how to find it on the app? I do, but it's not easy.
No, I have to do it on my laptop. I have to go into on the computer the way I've done it.
Yeah.
For so many years. Right, I haven't even tried on the app.
Yeah. It's on the app. It's buried. Yeah. All this stuff is buried on the app. So, I know this conversation wasn't about that, but I'm glad it went this way because it's something that I see on Facebook every day. People can't find stuff that is there for you. It's on the app. What time are the fireworks? It's on the app. You just have to know how to find it. Where's the menu to this restaurant? It's there. You just have to know
parades,
how to find
even parades, everything.
It's all there, but it's buried. It's crazy.
Well, we'll see. I'm can't wait. So I'm hoping the app is
okay. So
simpler.
The takeaway from all this is there's quite a few pros, not too many cons.
Right.
I think we did talk about the 3-day, the 7-day. Just know that the 7-day resort stay, if you're there, there's select resorts. So check to make sure. You want to make sure that your resort is going to be on there. I think the Swan and Dolphin and Shades of Green are going to be on there. So those are two, not Disney properties, but
right.
Let's see what else. Oh, UK and Canada got the.
Yeah. Well, anybody out of the country, you can't make them from out of the country. So that's problematic. Our friend Kevin is kind of, nervous about it, but he's luckily going to be in the US the week before in New York. So he should be able to make them. But most people, especially if you're coming from Canada, I mean, Canada is not a big major trip like that. They can't make it till they get here.
Right. And you're going to have to wake up regardless, whether you're in Canada or you're here. So you got to get up at 7 and get on the app.
But they're not going to be able to make them till they're here. So we'll just have to see.
I think they're going to try to fix it. Yeah.
Some of the tier 1s were interesting. Big Thunder Mountain is tier 1. I don't think it really needs to be. Jungle Cruise has been selling out of Genie Plus. It wasn't tier 1 when it was Fast Passes, but it is now. And I know that it's one of the first Genie Pluses to sell out. So I guess that's why they made it tier 1. Peter Pan's Flight, Space Mountain, and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And everything else is, except for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Tron, are the single pass attractions. So anything in there that I just think it's interesting that Big Thunder's in there. I don't think Big Thunder has that kind of.
Well, I don't know. That's I don't know. A lot of people are.
I think they feel they need to control enough.
They have to have controls.
Yeah.
So
for Epcot, you got Frozen Ever After, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and Soarin' Around the World. And I think Soarin' is there because Soarin's only a 20-minute wait usually. To be honest with you. I think it's because Test Track is closed. I think once Test Track closes, it'll be Test Track. So and the single pass attraction there is Guardians of the Galaxy. As Dave said, Animal Kingdom does not have tiers. They are all, you just choose 3 rides. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things you can get multi-pass return times at Animal Kingdom. So there's only 9 attractions. So I guess it wasn't worth it for them to.
No, and the only one with the single pass is Flight of Passage.
Avatar.
So
right. And Hollywood was interesting because Twilight Tower of Terror is not tier 1, but Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Millennium Falcon are. And I think Tower of Terror tends to have a longer wait than Mickey and Minnie or Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, that one surprised me when I saw that.
So the tier 1s are Mickey and Minnie, Millennium Falcon, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Slinky Dog. That means Tower of Terror is tier 2. I think that will mean Tower of Terror sells out faster because you get 2 tier 2s and only 1 tier 1. So I think that's going to be hard to get. We'll have to see. And Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is the single pass. The single pass Lightning Lane entry. So
you pay or wait. But if you rope drop and do that and have your other 3 passes for after, it might even get me to Disney before the cooler weather to try it.
Boy. Well, we want to go ride. Well, you've already ridden Tiana, Dave, but we want to go see the Country Bears after they open, which I'm going to be there after Country Bears opens. So maybe I'll get to go see the Country Bears. They open on July 17th.
Wow. That's just right around the corner.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big week. Oh, Big Brother starts about that time.
That'll be the next big thing. The next big story will be Country Bears. People will be outraged or they'll be happy or whatever. We'll see.
Oh, come on. It's everybody's going to be happy. It's been a long time. It need to be changed anyway. It's like everything.
What?
Well, come on.
But I miss all the guys that turn me on, turn me down.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Reminds me of my college days.
I guess it's just inevitable. So, yeah.
Change is good. Tiana's Bayou. You guys will not be disappointed. So
yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much.
Yep. I think it's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be better than Genie Plus, so we're looking forward to it.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you, Veronika.
Thank you.
Okay, so I guess that's gonna do it for this week's Disney Crush podcast. So thank you guys, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
I think that's it. All right.